I just feel like I can truly be myself around you.
I'm always here for you, Brianna.
You always know exactly what to say.
Terrence Coleman married Brianna Hayes on a warm Saturday in Charleston, South Carolina, surrounded by family, string lights, and a promise that felt unbreakable. Terrence had served 4 years already, a disciplined Army sergeant with a quiet confidence and a habit of keeping his word. Brianna worked as a hairstylist, bright and social, the kind of woman who lit up a room the moment she walked into it. Their wedding was small but joyful, his mother crying through the vows, her best friend Keisha catching the bouquet, Terrence's fellow soldiers forming an arch of sabers as they left the church. 3 months later, his orders came through. A 14-month deployment overseas, no way around it, no way to delay it. Brianna cried at the airport, clutching his uniform sleeve, promising she'd write every week, promising the distance wouldn't change anything between them. Terrence believed her completely. He boarded the plane with her photo tucked into his vest pocket, right over his heart, and told himself 14 months would pass quickly if he just kept his head down and did his job. He had no reason yet to think otherwise. He trusted her the way he trusted his training, completely, without question, because that was simply who Terrence Coleman was. Deployment life settled into a rhythm of routine and boredom punctuated by moments of real danger. Terrence's unit was stationed near Kandahar, running convoy security and equipment checks in temperatures that made the desert shimmer. His only comfort came in mail call, when Brianna's letters arrived folded in pink stationery, filled with declarations of love, updates about her hair salon clients, and promises that she counted the days until his return. He read them aloud sometimes to his bunkmate, Malik Grant, a soldier from Detroit who'd become like a brother to him. "Man, you got a good one," Malik would say, and Terrence would smile, believing it completely. One slow afternoon between shifts, Terrence walked to the small camp store with Malik, mostly out of boredom, and bought a $5 lottery ticket from a stateside lottery kiosk the base occasionally ran through the exchange program. He didn't think much of it. He tucked it into his wallet next to Brianna's photo and forgot about it entirely, focused instead on counting down the months until he could hold his wife again. 3 weeks later, sitting in the barracks during a rare quiet evening, Malik glanced over his shoulder at Terrence's laptop screen and went completely silent, staring at the numbers on the ticket in Terrence's hand. "Terrence." Malik's voice was barely above a whisper. "Check those numbers again." Terrence pulled up the lottery results a second time, his hands suddenly unsteady. Every number matched. All 6 of them. The jackpot, after a record-breaking 11-month rollover, had climbed to $19 billion, the largest prize in American lottery history, and Terrence Coleman, sitting in a dusty barracks 9,000 miles from home, was the sole winner. He didn't sleep that night. He sat outside under the desert stars, staring at the ticket, thinking about everything it meant, paying off his mother's house, buying Brianna the life she deserved, finally being able to breathe without counting every dollar. He called the lottery commission through a secure line the next morning, verified his identity, and was told the funds would be held in a protected trust until he could claim them in person back in the States. He decided not to tell Brianna yet. He wanted to walk through the door and surprise her himself, watch her face when he told her their lives were about to change forever. He had 11 months left in his deployment. 11 months of imagining her joy kept him going through every long, grueling shift. What Terrence didn't know was that back in Charleston, Brianna's letters had become a performance. 2 months after he deployed, she'd reconnected with Xavier Brooks, an old boyfriend from high school who worked at a car dealership downtown. It started with a text, then coffee, then something neither of them called an affair, but both of them knew exactly what it was. Brianna kept writing Terrence every week, the letters growing more affectionate the guiltier she felt, as if enough declarations of love could cancel out what she was doing at home. boxes into the house within 8 months, careful to clear out before Brianna's mother visited, careful to keep his car parked around the corner. Keisha, Brianna's own best friend, tried to warn her twice, only to be told to mind her business. Terrence doesn't have to know everything, Brianna said one night, applying lipstick before Xavier picked her up for dinner. What he doesn't know won't hurt him. She said it so easily, so certain that 14 months of distance meant 14 months of freedom, never once imagining her husband was thousands of miles away carrying a secret of his own, one that would have changed everything if she'd simply waited. Terrence's flight home landed at Charleston International on a humid Tuesday afternoon, 14 months and 6 days after he'd left. Malik had transferred to a different post months earlier, but he called Terrence the morning of his flight. "Go get your girl, man. And go get that money." Terrence laughed, lighter than he'd felt in over a year. He stopped first at the regional lottery office, where a stone-faced administrator confirmed his identity through 3 separate documents before sliding a folder across the desk containing the wire transfer confirmation, $19 billion, officially his. He sat in his truck afterward for a long moment, hands on the wheel, overwhelmed by a life that had changed so completely while he was gone. He drove to a flower shop next, choosing white roses because Brianna had carried them at their wedding, and asked the florist to tie the stems with the same ribbon color from that day. He wanted everything about this homecoming to feel like their wedding again, like a second beginning. He pulled into his driveway 40 minutes later, his heart pounding with an excitement he hadn't let himself feel in over a year, completely unprepared for what waited behind that front door. The door was unlocked. Terrence stepped inside calling her name, flowers in hand, and stopped cold in the living room doorway. Brianna was wrapped in Xavier's arms, laughing at something he'd said, both of them too absorbed to notice him standing there in his uniform. The roses hit the floor before Terrence found his voice. Brianna spun around, face draining of color, stammering his name like a question. Xavier grabbed his shirt off the couch and left without a word, brushing past Terrence at the door, unable to meet his eyes. Terrence didn't yell. He didn't cry. He simply looked at his wife for a long, quiet moment and said, 14 months of letters, Brianna. Every single one a lie. He turned and walked out, checking into a hotel that night instead of staying in the home he'd paid for with his deployment pay. Within a week, his lawyer filed for divorce, citing infidelity, and structured his lottery winnings into an irrevocable trust that predated the marriage's dissolution, protecting every dollar from any claim she might try to make. When the news broke publicly 2 months later that Sergeant Terrence Coleman was the record lottery winner, Brianna called him 11 times in one day. He never answered. He'd already learned exactly what her love was worth, and it wasn't $19 billion.